This is Arc 12, and today we have a new Warhammer 40K song from COLM MCGUINNESS, which is "To Serve is to Die," which I've actually had someone like post on one of my videos. I think it was the Slaanesh video that I released yesterday, but like I had someone post saying that they really wanted me to react to this. Trust me, after hearing the Death Corpse of Krieg song from Jonathan Young, I was guaranteed to want to listen to this for COLM, because that song is, while it may not necessarily be the one that's stuck in my head the most, it is at this moment of the heroic factions, and I say that with heavy quotations because I know that no faction is truly heroic in Warhammer 40K. I believe that Jonathan Young's song for the Krieg soldiers is my personal favorite. I think that's my personal favorite of the heroic factions, of the human factions. I know they're not actually heroes. Everybody sucks in Warhammer 40K, but like of the factions you are most commonly going to be in control of, the Krieg soldier song that Jonathan made, that was my favorite of that. Not my favorite of his Warhammer songs, but my favorite of the human songs. So when I saw that COLM had a Death Corps of Krieg song, I immediately put that on my list as one of the first videos I was going to make when I got back. So here we are. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because I will be pausing, I will be talking about it. And also down below is a link to my Patreon, where you'll find longer form reaction videos such as anime and TV shows like Star Wars Skeleton Crew or Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, which will be updated later this week. And without further ado, let's get started. I like how he's gotten into character here with the military jacket.
No glory waits for dust, no banners fly where we descend, we die because we must, and march where others meet there, and no graves for us unknown. We lie where duty claims its due, our flesh is not our own. It feeds the earth we march anew, in death we must atone. Restore our honor once again, make right our father's oaths. To serve, to all be better men, we're born beneath the stone. No sky to see, no sun to feel, in fumes we stand alone. Just hold the mask of gun and steel.
The creed that I have learned for the Krieg soldiers, the creed that they live by about like trying to atone for their forefathers' sins of trying to rebel against the Imperium, and the fact that for many generations from this point on, they are essentially just cannon fodder. They are used and they are thrown away. That requires a sort of military indoctrination that borders on religious fanaticism, and I get that that's actually quite common in the Warhammer universe, especially for the humans. I fully understand that like the humans are essentially dedicated to their god emperor, which I still would like to hear a song about. Like I would love to hear a song about the god emperor himself and like the lore and legend around that, but I fully understand that they are dedicated. But for the Krieg soldiers, it feels like it's escalated a little bit. It feels like it's just a little bit extra. You know what I mean? It feels like that there's more going on than just standard duty and honor and the desire to redeem. It's almost like the desire to redeem themselves has become its own religion. And I find that fascinating and also very terrifying, because those type of characters, they're the type that quite literally they're consider themselves walking dead men. They have nothing less left to lose because they've lost all of their honor, and therefore to them they've lost everything. I'm very interested in trying to get into like researching the lore of Krieg a little bit more, and specifically like what kind of hardships besides just the poison that the Krieg soldiers face on their homeworld, because I don't know whether or not they ever leave their homeworld. I don't know if they're ever conscripted and sent elsewhere. I would like to potentially hear a story about that. That sounds like it'd be very interesting. But like to have a Krieg soldier as the main character who's been conscripted and sent off to fight with like the Cadians or something like that. It'd be very interesting to see how they are like interacted and stuff like that. But I'm just kind of curious as to how far I imagine it probably goes as far as it needs to go for the story, but like it's just I'm kind of curious to see exactly how far the Krieg soldiers are willing to go to serve the Imperium, because that could mean a lot. And lines like that, to serve is to die is to serve, it's nothing more than what we deserve, only lends like further credence into my thought that like their desire to reclaim their honor that their forefathers have basically thrown away and burned is almost its own religion on top of the religious fanaticism of trying to serve the God Emperor of the Imperium. Like I feel like it's just like an extra layer there. The other thing that I'm thinking about too is, and this might have to tie into like the actual lore of Krieg, but like Krieg seems like it's a doomed planet. Like I know that like if you kill one orc, you're basically releasing a whole bunch of mushroom spores that cause other orcs to grow. I know that if the orcs have already infested Krieg, it's a lost planet. And if they can't take off their masks or their suits, they have to have like some sort of safe environment for them to be able to eat or you know, procreate, if we're going to say it in the most like general terms. Like the Krieg battalion, the Krieg army has to be able to be self-sustaining enough to maintain control of the planet to a degree that it seems acceptable. Because I don't think that they're getting reinforcements. Maybe they are, I don't know. But like most of the soldiers seem to be Krieg soldiers. So my question is, for the Warhammer buffs out there, what exactly is Krieg like outside of the haze? Like, is there safe spots underground or something that like the people that live on Krieg can actually be normal without having to have their hazmat suits and World War I gear? Like, I'm kind of curious about that, because I don't understand how Krieg itself remains standing if they don't have the ability of being self-sustaining in any way, shape, or form, with supplies or with personnel. Like, I don't understand how they can just have an army continuously without having any way of like bringing in new troops, unless the new troops are born and then bred and trained, which takes a while, obviously. But like, I just kind of curious as to like, what is Krieg like? Are there safe spots for Kriegians, I guess, to be able to live their lives normally without their suits? Because if not, I want to understand, like, how can Krieg continue to have soldiers? Like, the orcs should overrun the planet eventually, especially if they're immune to the poison, because I'm seeing a lot of these clips. The Krieg soldiers still have their gas masks on, but the orcs don't. So, like, I'm imagining that the orcs probably are in some way, shape, or form immune to the poison. So I'm just kind of curious, like, how does the Krieg soldiers, like, hold on to Krieg if they're under siege by an enemy like the orcs and they can't do normal things? I liked how like desperate and hopeless that song was. It felt like an old school, like World War I military march. It felt like an old school World War I style, like anthem, essentially. Something you'd hear sung in the trenches. Like, I really enjoy that particular like way of going about that. So I'm very happy with how that came out. That was a beautiful, beautiful song. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Markoff at 12, and I will see you in the next video.